So Tarte has a lot of mascaras on their site, like a lot of them. So what I did was I went out and I grabbed a whole bunch of them. A couple of them I've already tried and I love, but I'm gonna be doing a comparison video today. We're gonna go through each one. I'll show you a demo on how each of them perform, what's good about the mascara, what's not, and then I'm gonna share my favorites at the end from first place to last place. So let's do it. To save my eyelashes so that they all don't fall out, I'm gonna do one mascara per eye. So I think we're gonna start with my favorite. Well, it's my favorite, right? One of my favorites right now from Tarte. A couple of these I have not tried, so we're gonna be trying them first. But I got this beautiful packaging. This is the Lights Camera Lashes, and it typically comes in this purple packaging, but they have some limited edition packaging every so often, and it was on sale, and it's just gorgeous, so I decided to go with this. And this claims to be a 4-in-1 mascara, and I got it in black. This is a push-up bra for your lashes. Lights Camera Lashes lengthens, curls, and conditions lashes. Vitamin-rich formula conditions with each coat. 360-degree Magna Lash wand for an instant lash lift. One coat is on. I'm gonna go in with the Maneater. This is supposed to be a voluptuous mascara. This is one that I have tried. I think it's very similar to the Lash Paint one, which I've also tried. I just picked up the little mini, but we'll kind of talk about the pros and the cons to that. So here is the Maneater packaging. You can see the wand is very different from the Lights Camera Lashes wand. It has more plastic bristles with a couple of different sizes on each end. It's really good at kind of getting in there in the nooks and crannies and really coating the lashes. The benefits are massive volume, infinite length, and extreme curl. Makes eyes appear bigger and lifted with one coat. The formula on this is definitely waxier. It's not as soft and fluffy. We're gonna do one more coat and then you'll see the comparison. What I love about the Lights Camera Lashes is that it layers so good. I'm very picky about my mascaras. I feel like it's just so personal for everyone. Like what's gonna work for you is not gonna work for somebody else. It's kind of like perfume and jeans and just all that kind of thing. It's not really a one size fits all. And also getting a mascara that works really well for your top lashes to work for your bottom lashes, that's a challenge in and of itself. One more with the Maneater on the other eye. And as I'm using the Maneater, I use the one side of the wand and then go back and kind of rotate it and then use the other end. This is a custom 500 plus bristle brush coats, which separates each lash. So here it is, 2 coats of each, 2 generous coats of each. I think that the Maneater is definitely darker. I don't know how it's gonna translate on camera. It's definitely waxier. I like both of them, but if it was between these two, like which one I would purchase, I would probably go with the Lights Camera Lashes just because it feels softer on my eyes. But I'd still love to use this. I still do use it. I have like a little travel of it that I use all the time. And these would probably work like magic if you wanted to layer them. I would go in with this first and then go in with the Maneater after to get that really like separation, that darkening, that lengthening. Overall, like there's really not much difference. I just feel like this side builds a little bit better and that's why it would be my preference. Right now, they're both right up there at the top and they last all day. I've never had any issues with like flaking or anything like that because that's always annoying with mascaras. Next, I think we're gonna go in with a tubing mascara, which is something that I've been wanting to try. I don't know that I've ever used a tubing mascara, so I'm a little nervous. It's definitely like very heavy packaging, which is nice. It's very heavy. Oh, that's weird. The weight is definitely in the cap of the wand. So here's what the brush looks like. I will be right back. I'm going to remove this mascara and then come back in. We're gonna do the tubing mascara on the one side. Then we're gonna do the Big Ego, which is another one that I haven't tried. I just got the little sample size of it, which matches my sweater. I really like that. So then we're gonna go in with the Big Ego on the one side. Let's open it up. Ooh, did you hear that pop? So this formula is very dry. I can already tell that it's very dry. The bristles are very similar to like a Better Than Sex or like a L'Oreal Lash Paradise, like very like hourglass shaped and full on each side. So I'm gonna get this mascara off and we'll come back and we'll move on. All right, that was a lot to have to remove the mascara and kind of touch everything up, but it's all for the video, it's all good. I'm gonna go in and curl my lashes again so we can prep here for round 2. All right, going in with the Tarte tubing mascara. A lot of people rave about this mascara. I can see why. If you have shorter lashes, you'd probably love this. I'm hesitant to go ham on it, and I could see this getting them a little too like spiky or wonky looking. And so far, it's not my favorite of the group. I am very hesitant to put it on my bottom lashes, but maybe I'll love it for that. Let me just try to clean this up a little bit. I'm gonna let it dry and give it a fair shot, but if you can see, it's just kind of clinging on to certain lashes, making them look very long, and the other ones are kind of just left there like a stick in the mud. That's the only way I can describe it really, but I know a lot of people love it. So let's let it dry down a little bit. We'll go in with a big ego on my left eye, and then maybe when we go in with a second coat, I will have a different feeling about it. This big ego is a very, very dry formula. I feel like it would be really good for like feathering and teasing. And if you use false lashes, it would also be a great mascara to kind of marry your lash and the false lash together. I actually like the Big Lash as a bottom lash mascara. And I love the color, like look at that. But let's do a second coat now that this is kind of dried. It's still tacky, that's when I like to layer. If it's too dry, then you're not able to really get in there. Yeah, just too thick, too clumpy. Don't love it for my lash type. It might be one of those cases where once it dries down a little bit, like you ever buy a mascara and you hate it at first and then like a month later you love it? It's all because it's like so wet still. So I'm wondering if my opinion will change like over the next month or so if I continue to use it as it dries down. But right now it's just too much. Like it's gonna get very messy very quickly for my type of lash. So let's go in with the second coat on this side and see how it layers. So it layers very nicely. It's like very fluffy. It's supposed to be flake-free, 16-hour wear, maximum pigment and volume. This one I do like a lot better. I think it is very similar to the formula, kind of the Lights Camera Lashes with a different bristle. Maybe a little drier of a formula, not as wet. But out of these two, I would repurchase this one. Like I would wear it. I think it's nice. Honestly, I love all these mascaras. But if I had to pick like one or two, that's why I wanted to do this video. We are down to our last two that I'm gonna be trying today, and that is the Lash Smoothie, which I absolutely love. This stuff is amazing. It's more of like an everyday mascara. You can keep it in your car, keep it in your bag, whatever, and just kind of pop it on. It is one of my favorites. So it's a volumizing hemp mascara. What I love about it is that you'll see here in a second when I pull it out, the bristles have a really short, separated, defined on one side, and then on the other side, very long and like to create that volume and really curl them. Now the Lash Paint I've tried, I did have a full size. I didn't end up repurchasing it. It's a very wet mascara, similar to the Maneater, but the bristles are a little bit different. Here, I'll just open up for you now. The bristles they're kind of similar. The Lash Paint is on top and the Maneater is on the bottom. The spikes or like the bristles are a little bit more pronounced on the Lash Paint than they are the Maneater. All right, so I'm gonna stop talking. I am going to gently take this mascara off and hopefully I will have lashes left tomorrow. I just need to be careful in this area because I feel like every time I wash my face or whatever, like, you know, your lashes fall out. It's just part of the natural lash cycle. That tubing mascara was a pain in the to remove. Let me just tell you, that was not fun. All right, so here we go. This packaging reminds me of that CoverGirl Lash Blast, the orange one that I was talking about earlier, but I love this mascara. We're gonna do this one on the right, and we're gonna do the Lash Paint on the left. I first got it in a sample, like a little sample size that was sent to me. I think like Ulta or something, or maybe from Tarte directly, I can't remember. But at first I popped it in my pocketbook because I needed something to like keep in my pocketbook for on the go. And I used it and it was like, I'll describe it as I thought it was good enough. And then I thought, okay, maybe it's because it's like the sample size, it's not that good. And then a few weeks later, I was wondering like, why aren't more people talking about this? What I love about it is it's like a hug for your lashes. It just grips them so well. And then once you go in and you rotate the bristle, it really like separates and elongates them. I think it is so underrated out of their whole mascara line. Maybe I have to go back in and look at the reviews, but here's the bristle. You can see on the one side, it's like very short and sparse, and then the other side, it's significantly longer. That's what I love about it. And if you saw before, like I was saying, I was struggling so bad with like inside here of my lashes, especially after taking that tubing mascara off, but it really coats each and every lash and just kind of makes the best out of, you know, what you naturally have without it looking too like clumpy or just too much. And it layers really well. This is gonna be tough when I rank them at the end, but I have a pretty good idea where that one is going to be coming in. All right, let's go Lash Paint. It's been a couple of years since I've used this, so I can kind of remember my thoughts, but it'll be better once I go in and kind of see here. The bristles are like a fine-toothed comb. That's what I'll say they are. So they're like very scratchy. You know how sometimes you do your mascara and you kind of get your tight line area? Like it will scratch against it. So going in with the second coat here, I'm like, that's all you need. And then if I were to go in with my lash curler over this and it would just like really kind of crank things up a notch, this mascara is so good. Let's go in with the second coat of the Lash Paint. Yeah, the Lash Paint, it's good. Again, I think it's gonna be one of those things that I will like more like in a couple of weeks, but it's giving me like limp lashes, if that makes sense. I think because the formula is so heavy, I think you have to build a little bit at a time. If you let it get too saturated with product, it's gonna get heavy and kind of stick together and clump or kind of like flop to the side. All right, I'm gonna leave it at that because I don't want it to get too messy. The more you put more on, sometimes you just ruin the whole effect and then you're like, wow, I wish I didn't just go in again. So let's do a quick roundup of my top 5. Starting at the top is going to be the Lash Smoothie in first place for me. Then Lights Camera Lashes. Then I think like Maneater and Big Ego are gonna tie. I kind of feel like I like Big Ego a little bit more. And then we're gonna go Lash Paint. And then last, just because it doesn't work well with my type of lashes, is the tubing mascara, which is an awesome mascara. Like people rave about this. I've seen the before and afters. It does work. But if you naturally have a longer lash or a darker lash, this can quickly get very just messy and just too much too quick, if that makes sense. So that's obviously why they make so many different types of mascaras, because you know everybody's needs are different. So that's the beauty of it. I made a drugstore mascara video, like all of my favorites. It's a little bit outdated. A lot of them would remain the same on that list. There might be a couple new additions that I would add to the video, maybe 1, maybe 2 at most. So check that video out if you're interested, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye guys.